Thank you, Afra. At the beginning, I would like to thank all the people who put together this workshop, and I'm really pleased that I'm back here and to see some of my old colleagues and friends 20 years ago we started working together. In my presentation, talks about growing up, the experience of growing up, and in that I will briefly talk about the history or give a brief historical background about the changes that happened in Saudi Arabia and how it affected the understanding of childhood. And after that, we will go to another, I will clear it now. So, growing up a different context, the discussion will address the following questions. How, if at all, do theoretical concepts relating to childhood research in the North transfer to various social, cultural, and political contexts in the global South? And also in our discussion in this workshop, we will look at the other question, which is what the challenges exist which may prevent the incorporation of theories developed by academics focusing on Southern childhoods into more dominant discourses surrounding childhood studies. So these two main questions will be, the workshop will go around these two questions. Some of the areas I believe we will be looking at is or are similarities and differences in childhood, the meaning of childhood and how it experienced changes over space and time. Also, changing childhood, changing families, parent-child-adult relationship, cultural values, religion, etc. Also, we could look at policies at different contexts, child protection between global laws and national understanding. And the outline for this workshop will be, I will give about 15 minutes background about childhood in Saudi Arabia, similarities and diversities in global childhood. And also I will talk a little bit about my own experience in researching and in teaching sociology of childhood in Saudi Arabia. And then after that we will go into group activity on case studies of children at Global South, which you will present. And then after that we will go into group discussion around these case studies, bearing in mind the main topics the session is concerned with, the one I just talked about, and then group discussion for the raised issue and the issues in the light of the two questions the session is concerned with, and then we go to the closing. Childhood in Saudi Arabia. As I said, I'm gonna just briefly talk about the historical background, and I think it is important because it is important to look at childhood in its cultural context. As today and yesterday, the discussion emphasized on this point from a different perspective. Therefore, I'm gonna just read briefly or talk briefly about how change developed a new understanding of childhood in Saudi Arabia. So, Arab Gulf societies have undergone a period of rapid changes, especially since 1970s. Rising income levels, modernization and urbanization, globalization, and the growth of the mass media, as well as increasing contact with other cultures, has led to the introduction of new cultural norms within these Gulf societies. However, this situation has also fostered a concern to preserve tradition and maintain local culture identity, especially for children. As a result, these forces of change have created a tension between the cultural and religious heritage, mainly the Islamic values and routine, and contemporary life as reflected in modernization. These tensions are particularly acute in Saudi Arabia because of its special position in the Arab-Islamic world, as well as its global economic role. Historically, the Arabian Peninsula, where Saudi Arabia is located, is considered the heart of the Arab region or origin, and the main center for Muslims. Therefore, keeping identity and culture was important not just for the countries of this region, but to the entire Arab world. Furthermore, Islam was a main force in the unification of the Arabian Peninsula in early years of the 20th century and in the establishment of Saudi Arabia, and therefore still carried on the political structure of Saudi Arabia. Children cultures has particularly generated debates around tradition and modernity in the Arab world. Such a tension between tradition and modernity has had various impact upon local understanding of childhood. Therefore, Saudi children as a connecting ring between past and future face challenges in their engagement with the global culture within a context where there is also strong tendency to stress the importance of local values and practices. So actually this contradiction between East and West, and to make it short, this contradiction between East and West, between tradition and modernity, between change and continuity, is affecting children and children's culture. We can see that in children's literature, policy, education, their family matters, etc. And children are being caught in between this conflict and this type of change. Okay, this is an image of children in the traditional society, where, of course, life was simpler and children were able to play in the streets and with whatever they found in nature, etc. However, this is, we can say, related to 1950s. Childhood was perceived as path through which children had to pass in order to attain the goal of adulthood. It was considered, childhood was considered as irrational stage of human life, and this was regarded as the main difference between adult and children. As a result, children were given little attention based on the belief that they do not have special needs. However, by 1960, more attention was paid to childhood as a distinct period of human life, and concern about children's special needs has started to grow. Thus, few initiatives were taken to meet these needs, as providing formal education and schooling and introduction of commercial toys, children's play, internet, etc. And of course, this change has been happening rapidly until the recent years. You can see that there is a lot of change in the daily life of children, and the children have more of a global the everyday life than it is local, if we can say that. Okay, also one of the changes that happened, that Saudi Arabia has signed CRC in 1996, and since then, of course, there are different attempts to the implementation of CRC, but within the local culture, again, there's a lot of debate and a lot of discussion about to what extent it is acceptable to implement or apply the articles of CRC, starting from the age of the child, child participation, and almost most of the articles there is a discussion about is it useful to apply them in this such cultural context. And of course the society, with the change and with the increasing conflict in recent years with the West, as we all know and hear about in the news, and 9/11, and after that, this is divided the society into, we can say, three groups. Those who refuse they think that West culture is should be avoided totally, or we shouldn't have any contact with the West. We should avoid our children to be influenced by the Western culture, and those who think it is the way for improvement, for development of the society, and those who are in the middle. And of course, children are in between these three parties, if we can say. I will talk a little bit about researching children in Saudi Arabia, about my own experience. I was studying, I got my PhD from the University of Hull. Alison James was my supervisor, and during those years, I finished my studying 2001. During those years, I was, of course, reading about the new paradigm of of childhood, and that really affected my research and my own perspective about studying childhood to great extent. So, teaching the sociology of childhood at Saudi University before and after the new paradigm for sociology of childhood, I used to teach this course before I started my PhD, and I used to teach it as a static. I looked at childhood as a static phenomena. I looked at the theories of social education. I looked at children as one child, and this was the trend in teaching and in dealing with research about childhood. However, the new perspective of childhood, the new understanding, gave me new understanding. Children became, for me, as social actors, actively involved in the creation of the world they live in and in everyday life. And of course, in my study, it was about 3 generations in Saudi Arabia. I was looking at changing childhood in 3 generations: grandmothers, mothers, and their granddaughters. And on all these generations, I was able to find that children were always social actors, and they were not passive. They interacted actively with the society. They are in different circumstances. They were always there. So I tried to introduce this new understanding to my student. I came after I graduated and tried to present it to my student, starting by asking them a question: what is a child? And leading them to think about that. And it is think about there is a different kind of childhood. It's not one childhood, it's childhood. Thinking of examples of their own childhood. This way, childhood and the course of sociology of childhood became dynamic. And also in researching children became transfer from being absent to being present, from being passive to actively involved in providing data about how they perceive the world around them, from talking about children to talking to them. They became the core of my studies. And I will give just one example of my studies is a study about the cartoon character for Arab children. This study was, I did it with children. In the Arab world, there was a competition asking the artists to create a cartoon character for the Arab world. And this, again, it was within the argument that the West bring us cartoon characters, bring us culture that can harm our children, and all this discussion. So they announced for a competition and to create a Arab cartoon character. And after this finished, they gave prizes for the first and winner. Then I took these characters and I did my study with the children, asking them their opinion, what they think about, and the results of the outcome were totally different than what the adult expected. So this was one of the studies that I felt that, yes, children, they have opinion, they have voice, and it should be taken into consideration. Another study was about children and divorce. As we know, always children are absent. And when talking about divorce, it's either parents or the social workers, but also I did my study with the children, and then I found, again, their opinion is very important and it has to be taken into consideration. How the global understanding affect my research? It affected my research and influenced it helped me in designing my research questions. It helped me in selecting the methods and methodology, collecting and analyzing data. I will just allow me to show you, this is one of the books. It's a story for children or a book for children, but I used it also with my students, trying to help them to think in a different way about children, and to think about the importance of the cultural aspects and surroundings around children, and that childhood is culturally relative. It talks about carrying, and I found it's not only about carrying, it's also about caring, about learning our roles, the children, how they learn their roles in the life and within their family. This is like, for example, what you carry as a child. Each child is from different culture. This book is about what do you carry, how do you carry your books on the way to school. It talks, of course, about children who walk to school. Our children, they don't walk to school, they go by car and with the drivers and etc. So it was just to look at daily life, everyday life for children is different, and it's culturally relative to the circumstances they are living in. Also, these children, the things we carry can be very large or very small. This is from Morocco, child from Morocco, and we carry sticks for a fire, for child labor, or to help with their parents, and colored leaves for some children are, they have the luxury just to collect leaves, while others have something else. Also, often the people who care for us, carry us too, and a mother with babies has much to hold, but she will have help for from her children when she grow up, and then when you carry things for others, you lend helping hand, and carrying this spirit and makes us strong, makes the road short, and it tells us we do. So this was one of the ways, different ways I tried to use with my students just to turn their head around that childhood is not home. And for my own experience, I found that my study and my the experience I get from being introduced to the new paradigm of childhood helped me a lot in building a new perspective. Why I'm presenting this here, just to think about that children at different projects, they are, we can do like group activity about your own experience in research in childhood, case studies, research situation, individual case studies about child. So I thought this could be like an introduction about how our own experience and our own practical experience as well can affect the way we think about children and childhood. And from your own experience, and going back to the main question, the workshop and Afwa raised at the very beginning, how can we see that affecting, if you have like case studies about your own experience, how can we think about it and just talk, discuss if it's how it's related to these questions.